Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Patience is still a virtue. Wait, and truth will come up to the surface. Remember when I kept saying that I kind of know how things are ran in the Eastern Europe, the mentality, how certain countries and nations really look around at other countries' territories that used to be theirs and kind of wait for a specific, clear moment, an opportunity to grab them? Yes, and I got some comments and people who said, no, 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 yes, 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 yes. They all do the same. I was talking about the national conscience of a country, and that is historic events leave an imprint in the nation's, as I said, conscious heart. And you will never forget what some people did to your ancestors, and they will never forget what your ancestors did to their ancestors. If they do, then I don't know what to say. They're going to lose their land because they will not have the idea of community, of nation, of country, of people, of tribe. Anyway, what's going on here? Poland, Poland, Poland. My friends from Poland, I'm sorry. You're too verbal, not you. Your leaders are too verbal and they say things, and I'm glad when they say things as they are. That means they're ballsy and they have courage, and I like courage. And they're smart and they have their own interest and they will fulfill their interest. And I think, according even with the former foreign minister of Poland, they will get they're eyeballing the territories in Ukraine that used to be yours. Remember that? Yes. When the Russians kept saying that hey, the only reason why Poland is over there is because they hate us and because they want Ukrainian territory that used to be theirs. Whoever said that, oh my God, it's a Russian this, that's propaganda, that's that. Well, now, the former Polish foreign minister says that if the circumstance would have been right at the beginning of the war between NATO and Russia on Ukrainian territory, then they would have taken their little share. That's a missed opportunity from the Polish side. But hey, let's see what's going on here. And I have two media outlets that report this. And it's not going to be propaganda because I'm going to quote the former Polish foreign minister, and I'm going to use his words. Now, the interpretation these guys give couldn't be other than reality. So let's get the show starting, right? Here we go. What do we have here? We have here Sputnik. Oh no, this is propaganda. Yes, and it's from today, the 23rd of January 2023. Poland's Sikorski claims Warsaw, that's the capital of Poland, eyed dividing Ukraine after Russia began special operation. Here is Mr. Sikorski, right there. I like his shirt. That's surprising, huh? Yes, I like it. I think I have one like that. But looks good, Sikorski. Good, classy. Classy so far. Now, former Polish foreign minister Radoslaw Sikorski claims that Warsaw had considered partitioning Ukraine at the initial stage of Russia's special military operation. Now I'm quoting Mr. Classy Guy. I think there was a moment of hesitation in the first 10 days of the war, when we all did not know how it would go, and perhaps Ukraine would collapse. Sikorski said on the local, and I closed quotation marks here. Sikorski said on the local radio station when asked if he believed that, and I'm quoting, the government of PiS, Poland's ruling party Law and Justice, at some point thought about partition, end quote. And now his answer. If not for the heroism of Zelensky and the help of the West, it could have been different, he added. Polish Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki refuted of Sikorski's words, and I'm quoting, "The statements of Radoslav Sikorsky are no different from Russian propaganda. The former foreign minister must weigh his words. I expect him to retract these shameful statements," end quote, Morawiecki said on Twitter. At the same time, he called on the Polish opposition to avoid supporting the words of Sikorsky. Well, you can do that if you want. The problem is Sikorsky did not use his brain there. He used his heart there. And he used part of his brain as well because he could remember certain things. But, well, that was a slip of the tongue, right? A Freudian slip of the tongue. So let's go to the second article, which comes from Al Mayadeen, right? Right here. And this is an Arab, supposedly independent news outlet. And it's from today, the 23rd of January. And this is the title. "Partitioning Ukraine was an option earlier in war." Former Polish foreign minister. Sikorski's words were refuted by Polish Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki, who described it as Russian propaganda. Well, the Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki is like he's about to get the loot and someone turns on the light. God damn it, what are you doing? Something like that. He's been working so hard to befriend the Ukrainians, to do this or do that, supposedly. All the orders will come from Washington. The problem is, I'm just giving you a scenario, okay? That's a scenario. If somehow the Ukraine collapses and the Russians move, I said this many times before, move west, Poland will come and grab that land with the pretext under the pretext that they will defend those people from Russian invasion. And the Russians should meet the Poles over there, and they will not dare to attack the NATO state army, right? Which is Poland in this case. So that would be the justification. Nevertheless, Poland tries to help Ukraine as much as it can. You know, as I said many times, if you are a spy, you overdo it. You're the most patriotic person in the country that you are working, if you know what I mean. So let's say you got a French spy in the United States. That French spy will be the most patriotic American or immigrant that you ever seen in the United States. Why? Like that, he's thinking that he's going to cover his ass, his tracks. So the same, Poland helps. But they might want something else later. And they could not be, blamed or finger pointed at them like, hey, you really were waiting over there to get that territory. We say, no, nah. Look at us, look at our record. We've been waiting to help the Ukrainians, and we helped Ukrainians at each and every corner. So it can't be us. Well, this is a scenario, obviously. Could be bad, could be good. Time will tell. But if Ukraine falls and the Russians advance over there, I'm 99.9% certain that's what's going to happen. That's exactly what's going to happen. If the Ukrainians would not say, okay, we want peace, let's discuss things, and they will keep fighting and the Russians advance, they will save their people in those territories of Ukraine where Polish nation is majority or whatever. Is in a greater number. Phew. Anyway, so let's go to this article from for Al Mayadeen and read a little bit. So let's get former Polish foreign minister Radoslav Sikorski announced that during the early days of the war, Warsaw considered partitioning Ukraine. And I'm quoting, "I think there was a moment of hesitation in the first 10 days of the war when we all did not know how it would go, and perhaps Ukraine would collapse," Sikorski said on the Z radio station when asked if he believed that, and I'm quoting, "the government of Poland's ruling party at some point thought about partition," end quote. "If not for the heroism of Zelensky, blah, blah, blah." This is the same thing. And then we have the Polish Prime Minister saying that Sikorski is no different than Russian propaganda. And then at the same time, he implored the Polish opposition not to blindly support Sierotsky's word by blindly coattailing for the sake of political consistency. Well, you know, and here, US, Poland plotting division of Ukraine, Russian intelligence chief. So the Russians said this for some time. You can take it however you want, but Russian Foreign Intelligence Services SVR chief Sergei Narishkin said earlier in April last year that the United States and Poland are plotting to gain a sphere of influence in Ukraine, which insinuates that the war could end with the forced partition of Ukraine between the West and Russia. Narishkin cited unpublished intelligence he said showed that United States and Poland, NATO allies, were plotting to restore Polish control over parts of western Ukraine. Now, and I'm quoting Narishkin, according to the intelligence received from Russia's foreign intelligence services, Washington and Warsaw are working on plans to establish Poland's tight military and political control over its historical possessions in Ukraine. So, and it says the United States was discussing with Poland a plan under which Polish peacekeeping force without a NATO mandate would enter parts of western Ukraine where the chance of confronting Russian forces was low, he said. Now, I don't know about that, but if that really was a plan, could have been, but as of now, I'm just using Siritskin, whatever his name is, the former foreign minister, who I think has a lot of Poles that would think the same way. The problem is with this weasel, the prime minister now, Mateusz, whatever his name is, he say, hey guys, you should be like robots. He can't fight that. He can't fight that. And why would this Siritsky, the former foreign minister, say that? Why would they say that? Is because he's a Russian mouthpiece? Is because he's an idiot? Is because that's how he feels? That's because many people feel that way? Maybe because that's accurate? Or just because, yeah, you know, he just wants to win politically. Well, how would you win politically? And the other guy asked everybody else, hey, do not think that and do not promote that. Why? If it's so idiotic, why not? Let them bury themselves, right? That's what we would do. That's what you would do. But it seems like it would catch, you know, how do you call that when you have, you know, soil and you just plant, you know, seeds and the seeds will start growing. So this is what the current government in Poland is afraid, that this guy's saying that it has the right soil, which is the national conscience. You can't change that. So they're afraid this guy is just using these words on the already prepared soil for that action. Well, I'm just talking around here, but I think that, as I said, the scenario about 5 minutes ago, we're waiting for that. We were waiting for that. Remember, Poland invaded Czechoslovakia when Hitler invaded Czechoslovakia and took everything, not only the Sudetenland, because Germany had a pact, as Ribbentrop-Molotov pact, with Poland. In case they start here, they go there. Remember, look into that. They don't like to remember that little incident, historical event actually, when the Polish army entered Czechoslovakia at that time, when the Germans entered from the west, they came down and took a little historical territory. Just check it out. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart. And I'm not pointing the finger only at Poland. Romania looks at certain territories. Hungary definitely looks at certain territories. Russia is looking at territories. Belarus is looking at territories. A lot of people are looking at territories. Why? Because Ukraine was kind of territories. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.